In previous lessons, you've heard a bit about the trust zone in ARM processors. So let's talk a little bit about that. At its core, ARM Trust Zone is a hardware-based security feature built into many ARM processors. It creates a division within the processor, allowing it to run secure and non-secure operations simultaneously without interfering with each other. The two worlds is a key concept when you're thinking about ARM Trust Zone. In the secure world, it handles sensitive operations like cryptographic keys, digital rights management, DRM, secure boot processes, and payment systems. Think of this as a vault within your processor. Only trusted applications and code are allowed to operate here. And secure OS, like Trusted Execution Environment, TEE, runs here. Then you have the normal, quote-unquote, non-secure world. This runs your everyday apps like games, browsers, and other regular software. This is where most user activity happens, and it runs a standard OS like Android or Linux. TrustZone works with hardware-level isolation. The CPU has a flag that determines whether it's running in the secure or the normal world. This isn't just software-based. It's baked into the hardware, making it hard for malware to bypass. And there's SMC, Secure Monitor, or Secure Monitor Call. The bridge between the secure and the non-secure worlds is this SMC. When the normal world needs to perform a secure operation like decrypting data, it sends a Secure Monitor Call SMC to request access. The CPU switches to the secure world to handle the request and then switches back. And memory partitioning. TrustZone also extends to memory and peripherals. Secure data is stored in secure memory regions, inaccessible to non-secure apps. Devices like cameras, fingerprint sensors, or payment chips can also be TrustZone protected. TrustZone is important in cybersecurity because of secure boot. TrustZone ensures the boot process is secure from the very start, preventing malicious firmware from loading. It's also important in cybersecurity because of protecting sensitive data. Encryption keys, biometric data like fingerprints, and payment credentials are stored in the secure world. And application in IoT and mobile devices, TrustZone is widely used in smartphones, Internet of Things devices, and embedded systems where securing sensitive information is critical. There are potential threats and considerations like everything. TrustZone vulnerabilities. So while TrustZone provides strong isolation, vulnerabilities have been found in specific implementations. There is the trickster attack, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. And poor coding of secure apps or the secure OS can lead to exploitation. There are also firmware attacks. If attackers gain control of the bootloader or firmware, they might compromise TrustZone, though this is difficult due to the hardware-based protections. And limited transparency. TrustZone implementations are often closed source, which can limit the external security audits. So what do we mean by secure and normal non-secure in TrustZone? Secure world and normal world refer to hardware-enforced environments, or worlds, that ARM processors create using TrustZone technology. The secure world isn't about whether your device is safe from malware or hackers in the traditional sense. It's about isolating sensitive operations at the hardware level, making them inaccessible to regular software running in the normal world. The secure world is designed to handle highly sensitive tasks, like cryptographic operations, managing encryption keys, secure boot processes, biometric authentication like fingerprint or facial recognition data, and payment systems like Apple Pay or Samsung Pay. It's called secure because it's isolated from the main OS like Android or Linux and inaccessible to regular apps, reducing the risk of sensitive data exposure. Only trusted, pre-approved code runs here. And even if malware infects your main operating system, it still can't access that secure world. Now, the normal world in these senses is where all your everyday apps and operations run. Think games, web browsers, email, social media apps, things like that. This world runs a standard operating system like Android or Linux. It's called non-secure just because it doesn't have access to sensitive functions handled in the quote-unquote secure world. and it's more exposed to potential threats like malware and vulnerabilities because it runs user-installed applications and processes data from external sources like the internet. To clarify the operating system's secure OS versus standard OS, when I say secure OS, we're talking about minimal, lightweight operating systems that run inside the quote-unquote secure world. This is often called a trusted execution environment, or TEE. It's not a full-fledged OS or operating system like Android or Linux. Instead, it's a specialized environment for running sensitive processes securely. Examples of secure OS implementations include OPT, Open Portable Trusted Execution Environment, and Trusted Firmware A for ARM-based secure processing. The standard OS, like Android or Linux, runs in the normal world and manages all regular device operations. This does not mean Android or Linux are inherently insecure. Both can be highly secure depending on configurations and security practices. The distinction is purely about the hardware-enforced separation. TrustZone treats the normal world as untrusted for highly sensitive tasks. This separation exists for defense in depth. Even if your standard OS, Android, Linux, gets compromised, like malware or privilege escalation happens, the secure world remains isolated and protected. Sensitive tasks like key management or secure payments continue to be safe. And efficient security. Instead of securing every part of the main OS for sensitive tasks, TrustZone allows you to compartmentalize the most critical functions, reducing the attack surface. So imagine your phone is a building. The normal world is like the main office floor where employees work, browsing, email, apps, etc. The secure world is the vault in the basement where sensitive documents like encryption keys and biometric data are stored. Even if someone sneaks into the office, they can't open the vault without proper permissions. Now, just a final clarification on the trickster attack. That is a type of side channel attack targeting vulnerabilities directly in ARM TrustZone implementations. It exploits the way the secure world and normal world interact, allowing an attacker to bypass TrustZone's isolation mechanism and potentially gain unauthorized access to sensitive data or secure operations. The trickster attack abuses secure monitoring calls, SMCs, taking advantage of improperly implemented or vulnerable SMCs, secure monitor calls, which act as the bridge between the secure and normal worlds. By crafting malicious SMCs from the normal world, attackers can trick the secure monitor into exposing sensitive operations or memory. Once the attacker gains access, they can escalate privileges to execute code in the secure world, effectively compromising the trusted execution environment, TEE. The attacker may also leverage shared hardware resources such as caches or memory regions to leak sensitive information like cryptographic keys. In essence, the trickster attack highlights the importance of not just relying on hardware-based security like TrustZone, but also ensuring that secure code implementation, firmware integrity, and proper validation are maintained throughout the system.